What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are going to talk about the upcoming G.I. Joe solo film, Snake Eyes. Now, I made a video about this about 2 weeks ago. It did very well. I love G.I. Joe. I'm very versed in G.I. Joe, and I'm very passionate about G.I. Joe, so I'm not happy with what I've heard about this movie up to this point. Now, if you're not aware of this movie, I'm going to talk about the characters that have been confirmed in the film, and the things that we heard about just a few weeks ago. Henry Golding has been cast as Snake Eyes. Now, that's a problem. Why? Because Snake Eyes has blonde hair, and he's white. He's a blonde hair, blue-eyed white dude, and they've cast an Asian dude as Snake Eyes. They're already missing the boat here. They are talking about taking his mask off. Snake Eyes doesn't take his fucking mask off. But hey, they're advertising they want to take Snake Eyes' mask off. And as far as, his skin color, it's really the only real reference we have to it, and they're very vague in the comics a couple times, but really, like, it causes tension between himself and Storm Shadow because of the Hard Master, the dojo that they're at, and the training. Storm Shadow has a little bit of jealousy because Snake Eyes doesn't belong there, and, that's something they could really play into, but they've already moved away from that in this movie. But can we save Snake Eyes? I mean, we saved Sonic. Can we save Snake Eyes? I mean, they're not going to recast Henry Golding. I think that's his name. But keep his mask on. Don't take his mask off. It's that simple. This is not complicated. Don't take his mask off. If they take his mask off, it's over. It's done. This movie will be pointless. Learn from Sonic. We'll talk about that in a minute. Every G.I. Joe character in the Snake Eyes movie. Several G.I. Joe characters are confirmed to appear in the upcoming Snake Eyes movie. Here's every one of them, including who plays them. So, yada, yada, yada. So, obviously, Snake Eyes is going to be in the Snake Eyes movie. You know the history of Snake Eyes. It even talks about how, to this day, his real name remains as classified. Snake Eyes' most recognizable look includes a full black body suit and mask. Perhaps his most well-known trait is his vow of silence. Snake Eyes doesn't speak, which raises questions about how the movie will handle this aspect of the character. They're probably going to have him talk. They're probably going to have him talk about hot dogs and cheeseburgers, for all I know. Snake Eyes producer Lorenzo Di Bonaventura has teased that Snake Eyes will be able to speak for at least part of the movie, since it's an origin story. I'm not going to hate that yet, because I understand the aspect, and if you look at some of the lore, obviously Snake Eyes could speak at one point in time before all, we'll see. Previously, Snake Eyes was brought to life by Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace Darth Maul actor Ray Park, who should be Snake Eyes right freaking now. But for the new movie, he'll be portrayed by crazy rich Asian star Henry Golding. Storm Shadow. Okay, so Storm Shadow obviously will be in the movie. Having come from a family of assassins that goes back generations, Storm Shadow is a highly trained ninja with a deep and complicated history as Snake Eyes. Over the years, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow have been best friends, brothers in arms, and enemies. Clad in white, Storm Shadow is the visual opposite to Snake Eyes, and a character with ties to both G.I. Joe and Cobra teams. After parting ways with the G.I. Joe squad and Snake Eyes over a misunderstanding, Storm Shadow switched sides and was recruited by Cobra, who made him the bodyguard for Cobra Commander. That being said, Storm Shadow has never necessarily been evil, so there have been times where he's been seen fighting on the side of the heroes. In this way, the character can be a bit of a wild card. So do we know who? So what I don't understand, again, so we know Storm Shadow is going to be in the movie. So again, you're already, like, Henry Golding should have been Storm Shadow. This is so frustrating. So frustrating. The guy, and I can't pronounce his name, Lee, whatever, played Storm Shadow in G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra, and Retaliation. That guy was fantastic. He was fantastic as Storm Shadow. So the Hard Master, who's the sensei, he's going to be in the movie. And that's going to be cool. I don't know a lot about him other than, obviously, the references in, like, G.I. Joe Resolute, because, I'm an 80s baby, early 90s baby, and so the Hard Master didn't have a figure, at least to my knowledge, back when I was collecting, so that'll be interesting. Obviously, he's played a significant role in a lot of these stories with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, though. Scarlet, we all know who Scarlet is, so that's going to be interesting. Do we have her cast? Samara Weaving? Is that like Hugo Weaving? She related to Hugo Weaving? Okay. I don't know who she is. So, interesting. All right, cool. The Baroness. All right, so we got the Baroness in here. I did not like the Baroness in the live-action G.I. Joe movies. Sienna Miller, who's hot, but not a good Baroness at all. That was just terrible. So that's what we have. We have the Baroness. We have Scarlet, two very recognizable G.I. Joes. We have the Hardmaster again. If you've seen a lot of the animated stuff that they've come out with, then yeah, obviously we've got several references to the Hardmaster, Storm Shadow, and Snake Eyes. So that's who we have. That's cool. I mean, I'm glad that we do have, you know, some pretty prominent Joes in the movie. But again, we go back to Snake Eyes. We go back to the fact that they clearly don't understand this character, and I'm curious how this first trailer is going to be. You know, are G.I. Joe fans really going to speak up? I mean, I don't know. Obviously, there's a huge amount of Joe fans out there, but how passionate are they? How vocal are they going to be when we see this trailer for Snake Eyes? I'm very interested in this trailer, and I'm going to probably bitch a lot during this trailer if Snake Eyes is talking, if he's got his mask off. I'm going to be so pissed off. So, you know, at that point, we saw what happened with Sonic. And now Sonic is a big success because why? Because they were moving away from the character completely from a design standpoint. Well, that's what's happening now. They moved away from the design standpoint and everything that made that character recognizable to the fans. Fans had an uproar of criticism. They took it back to the drawing board. This was a VX situation. This is a visual effects situation. With Snake Eyes, I mean, I don't know how much they're going to not keep... I don't know how much they're going to take his mask off, but I hope that something can happen. Again, we're going to see how this trailer looks. The trailer could blow our minds, but based on what I've heard up to this point, I am not expecting this trailer to blow our minds. I'm expecting this trailer to piss me off. I don't need to see Snake Eyes' face. I don't need to see anything. I don't need to hear him talk. But again, if it's an origin story, if you want to spend the first half of that, you know, there's many things you can do for him to speak prior to you know, his vow of silence. So we will see. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Can we save Snake Eyes from this disaster that it appears we're heading for, or have they already listened to the criticisms out there? I don't think there's a lot of criticisms at this point, so I don't think they're listening a lot, but help get this video out there if you agree with me. Like the video, share the video, comment below, and let me know your thoughts on this. Have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money, Raylos are weird, Sonic made money, and we will talk to you later.